Hello everyone, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be the review on the Asus Zenfone Max ZC550KL. I really do not wish to comment on the naming of these phones because these companies' namings are just insane. ZC550KL, but whatever. This phone I got it for free, and to even find the model number of this phone it took me like a good 20 to 30 minutes to find the model of this phone. I did went into the settings to find the model number of this phone, and of course I did find it, but to find the specifications of this phone and things like that it took quite a while because there were a lot of phones with very similar namings. Actually there were some phones with the same naming but just from different years, so it was really very hard to find which year this phone was from. Because when I found the technical specifications I put ZC550KL, there were few of them with a similar model number and I was confused. The only difference between them was the year which they were released. That was how hard it is to find the technical specifications and of course more about this phone. So without further ado, let's get started into the video. And now on to the technical specifications of this phone. This phone is actually running Android version 6.0.1 with the Zen UI skin on top of it. And of course definitely software updates for this phone have been stopped. And as for the chip on this phone, it's a Qualcomm MSM 8939 Snapdragon 615 28nm chip. The CPU is an octa-core 4x 1.5 GHz Cortex CPU. This phone has 32GB of internal storage with 2GB of RAM. Now here we have a game. Let's take a look at how this phone performs when it's on a game. This is not really a very intense game, but at least we will know a rough gauge on how games work on this phone. There we go. That was a pretty smooth experience, but of course it's not really a very intense game, so we don't really know how the phone works on it. Here we have another game, some dragon game. So there we go. We can see that the frame rate is slightly choppy. If you move the screen like that, it's actually a bit choppy and it's not really that smooth. Now onto the cameras on this phone. The front facing camera is just a 5 megapixel camera with an aperture of 2, and the front camera can only take selfies and it cannot take selfie videos. So this front facing camera can only take photos and no videos at all. Now onto the rear camera. The rear camera is a 13 megapixel camera with an aperture of 2 point, and this camera can capture HDR videos at 1080p 30 frames per second. And this phone has a standard 5000 mAh non-removable lithium polymer battery. But the funny part about this phone is that it does not have a removable battery, but it has a removable back. So if you remove this, we can see that the battery can't be removed, but there are two SIM card tray slots and the micro SD card slot is here. I think they could have easily made this a removable battery if they had wanted. It would have been so much easier, but we can definitely see that this is a non-removable battery. The back is just removed just to put the SIM card in. That is kind of weird. And the other thing that is weird is the charging for this phone is actually reverse wired. Let me just pull the charger out, and if you can see here, charger is straight, but the phone was actually flipped. So if I flip this around, charger is actually flipped. This is an Android charging pin and it's flipped. So this is how I plug this in, the reverse wired. I think that they could have easily made it simple by just adding it like this, but they don't. Decided to put it reverse wired, which is actually very weird. But I definitely cannot comment on the battery life of this phone. That is because this battery needs a replacement and it doesn't really last that long for me to use. If I maybe play a few games on this phone, the battery just drains out, so I really cannot comment on the battery life due to this battery needing to be replaced. As for the colors of this phone came in black, white, orange and blue. Really weird color combinations, especially orange, but that's the color that came for this phone. And the phone that I'm having in my hand now is the white color. I definitely cannot be complaining about the bezels and the buttons on this phone because these are the kinds of phones that came out in the Android market back in 2016. So these were the kind of phones that were in Android market in 2016, so I can't really complain much on this. But now if you're asking me, should you buy this phone in 2023? My answer to that is definitely not. And that is because Android phones have definitely improved a lot over the years. And now for budget phones, you can definitely get a better screen for the same price of $200. But of course, if you try finding this phone, I think you can definitely get it for about $30-40. And these phones are pretty much definitely usable right now. You can watch YouTube videos, you can make calls on them. Google services still works on it. If you log in with your Google account, you can definitely download games and apps and things like that. But lagging and stuttering definitely can't be avoided. Buying this phone in 2023 is definitely not an option, and we can definitely go for other mid-ranges because there are already a lot of mid-range phones from a lot of new companies which are coming out. So that's been it. That's my review on the Asus Zenfone ZC 550 KL. I know that this review is it's rather short and we're not able to do any of our regular testing like Geekbenches and things like that because I'm not able to download any apps on this phone. So it's been really hard trying to download things. I've actually tried downloading but things just didn't work out for this phone. It was just too laggy, so I really couldn't do anything. I did what I can with the apps and with the games that were built in on this phone when I got it. I've definitely seen a few of you commenting on my videos, and of course some of it were helpful comments, and of course you were saying that the videos were nice and things like that, so thank you so much for that. And I recently received this specific comment from a person called Afnan. I'll put this comment up here. He said that the iBook review that I did was helpful, so thank you so much for that. And he asked for performance gains after putting an SSD on the iBook that I made a review on. It's not that I don't have the iBook, I still have the iBook with me, but the issue is that I got the iBook itself, the original hard drive was swapped out for the SSD that is currently having now. And the reason when I asked the seller what they say is because of failing the hard drive, and they decided to maybe boost this machine up a bit by putting an SSD in that. So now I can't really do a comparison on using SSD because it already has an SSD. So I don't have any benchmarks to compare it with. I'm really sorry Afnan for not making the video that you asked for. I'll definitely try to make the videos that you guys asked for because this channel is not for me but it's for you. It's for all of you to watch. So I'll definitely try to make videos and contents that you guys ask for. So like I said, always leave the comments below. I'll definitely be reading them. Just like Afnan, give me any suggestions if you have, then I'll really try my best to do videos on it. I'll really try my best, but if the situation really doesn't suit up, then I really can't, and I'm really sorry for that. So that's been it for this video. If you like watching, don't forget to click the like button and don't remember to subscribe to this channel. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch all of you in the next one. Bye bye.